do it.
Should we get into episode 6? Every night is another story. The air date of this episode was October 28th, 2003. Woo!
I loved it.
What happens? Tell us what happens in it.
Yeah, give me the goods. Give us the rundown.
Okay, so what happens in this episode, and this is a big one. It's the first away game for the Ravens. They go to play Pickerington, and Whitey throws Lucas and Nathan off the bus after the game because they started punching it out on the court and got thrown out of the game and tackled me and harmed me. They wounded me.
They harmed you.
I was injured bad.
You poor little bunny.
So it leaves them stranded 30 miles from home. They encounter a carload of the rival team guys who threaten them with a gun. So weird, by the way. Casual gun pull in high school? What?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then due to my injury and, I should say Brooke's to clarify, due to Brooke's injury and the pain pills that she took to the face, she needed a little help getting in the car from both Peyton and Haley.
So many weird casual traumas in this episode.
Like gun violence and addiction. I'm like, what is going on?
Just a little
here?
oxy party. No big whoop.
Fine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Karen and Keith go to the small business dinner, and Dan and Deb are there, and they get seated at the same table.
Zoinks!
It's a lot of drama.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. Because somebody at the Small Business Association assumed they liked each other.
Oh my God. They didn't get the
I
memo.
actually would have liked to see that. I wish there had been somebody who just really disliked someone at that table and purposely just sitting in the corner watching them, eating his soup, just happy to see the table.
The head of the Chamber of Commerce. His name's Earl or something.
Just in the corner with his pinky on his mouth.
Guys, this was legit one of my favorite episodes to shoot. It
Me
was
too.
And maybe it's because we were separated by ourselves the whole time.
That was the first time that was just the girls being just girls the whole time. And so there was no longing looks and forlorn. It was just us being goobers.
It was all kind of real too. I mean, for me, I definitely felt that I was still kind of feeling out you guys, and we were all feeling out each other, and so everything that was on camera was a lot of what we were actually. I mean, for me anyway, it was a lot of what I was actually feeling of are we going to get along? Is this okay? Is this? I don't know how this is going to go.
Are we going to have fun together?
Yeah.
I love that in this episode, they're like, you hicks at Pickerington. And meanwhile, we've all moved off to Hickville.
Wait, Sophia. Okay, Sophia had a thought.
So I was going to say, I think one of the things that I loved about even the opening of the episode, well, first of all, how funny it is that it opens smack dab in the middle, right? You know, Peyton and Haley in the front seat of the car, and you almost crash, and Brooke wakes up and is so confused, and it cuts back and forth.
It
from
makes
us
you think
to the
you
guys.
missed an episode.
Yes, totally. And I get to kind of be the voice for the audience at the end of the teaser going, what the hell is going on here?
For the whole episode, which is great.
Yeah.
Because when you're oh, you guys think this is going to work?
Oh, that made me so sad. That broke my heart. But it was sweet to do the, 12 hours earlier rewind. The thing that kind of struck me as we were watching it together is we all had the same version of feedback being like, oh, look at us being real little kids. Yeah. There's fun and silliness and charm between all the friends. And I don't know, it just felt so nice. Us play fighting with pom-poms in your room. And it was just so sweet.
That was a fun little scene. Because it was the first time that we had real extended scene work together that didn't involve the whole cast and crew. It was really little intimate scenes. So us just getting to play in the bedroom was really cute because that is how I interacted with my girlfriends in high school. We were on the cheerleading squad and going to each other's house before games and being in our uniforms and getting in our cutlass and going to the 7-Eleven to get Slurpees before the game. Totally. It felt real. Yeah. In a way that some of the other stuff is really heightened and crazy. And then when Joy and I got to do the stuff while we went to go get gas, that was the first time I feel we really got into our mutual love of Broadway, and really dug in. And so all of that tender excitement that's coming through on camera, in my recollection, felt so, so real.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Watching the boys play nice and like play dirty and then play nice was really rewarding. We joked while we watched it that they were like Bo and Luke Duke, just like those Duke boys causing trouble, you know?
There they go. Mm-hmm. I love that this episode was a standalone episode. Like if you had never seen the show, you kind of could drop into it and it was a good introduction of who everybody is in a way, but it also moved and it was out of sort of an out of time. It could have happened any day. But it moved so much of the story forward.
When did we do our first TRL appearance? Because I feel like this episode was a reintroduction of everything.
Oh.
Because, hold on, I'm going to Google that.
Somebody needs to find out. I don't know.
Well,
Google.
And you know what I think too? I think that's such a good observation on both your parts because remember, we got pulled up to air in September. We weren't supposed to air till January. And I remember the big thing every week being, wow, the word of mouth. Because the audience was like doubling and tripling every week for our show. So I think that by this point, 6 episodes in, they were like, all right, we got to figure out a way to pepper in information about each of these characters in case new viewers are showing up now. So it does feel a bit like that. Like hey, thanks to everyone who's been here. And then for all you new folks coming in, this is who these people are. This is what their relationships are.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're totally right.
We also had kind of fleshed ourselves out over the first 5 episodes. It was like, we didn't know about Peyton's mom. We didn't know about like Brooke being like the rich, popular girl. We didn't know Haley's background, So now that we have all the exposition, now we just get to play. Now it's just like, okay, let's get silly. We're little kids now, which we totally did. Joy, get into the plot points here.
Oh, I just want to say there's so much to cover. So, I mean, if we're going to go in order, let's first talk about the mix CD that you give to Lucas. And the mixtape on the bus.
P.S. whatever.
Guys, that's on brand for me.
Whatever.
I have had many a romance over a mixtape, including my husband.
Oh, me too.
My husband, when we first started kissing, was like sending me Bon Iver songs. And I was like, this'll work. Okay. Yeah, like that's my love language. What's the best mixtape you remember getting? Do you have
I mean, I definitely traded mixtapes in high school. That was really a thing. And you remember just sitting by the stereo with your hand over the record and play button at the same time, listening to the radio, waiting for your song to come on.
For days.
Trying to get
it perfect.
Hours. You just sit there waiting to hear your song.
It's a lost art. When we were able to make mix CDs, though, that was a game changer because you didn't have to record it off the radio anymore. Do you remember that boy I was friends with in town that was in a band? He used to make good CDs.
Oh, yeah.
Great CDs.
Yeah.
The best CDs.
He loved you.
Like a lot of Jeff Buckley. Honeys, if you're listening and you want to get a girl to like you, you put some Jeff Buckley on a mixtape and she will like you.
Oh,
yeah.
So
that song
good.
that everybody here wants you song.
That's my favorite. Oh my God.
Right?
I mean, I'm just going to take off my clothes right now. That and that, whatever that Robin Thicke song is that we always used to sing too.
Oh my God. We were in
back
our
in
prime thick days in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
It was that album he did. Oh, baby girl, you the that makes you my equivalent.
Yes, that's the one.
That wasn't the song though.
No, but it was that album. What was it? There was like a slow sexy one.
Without you.
Yes. Lost Without You. Oof.
Yeah.
God,
It was so good.
It was a good time, kids, those early 2000s.
But mixtapes really were such a way to convey feelings. I mean, my God, I remember in my mid-20s just like, I was like, oh, I am in love when I got like the best mix CD. And it's like, you really know me.
You know me. That's what it is.
Don't feel like that.
Yeah.
You know me. When I lived in New York, I was seeing this guy. We were kind of dancing around, seeing each other. We liked each other, but he was at Juilliard, And he was he was super into like Jeff Buckley and Bob Dylan and like all the, all these like super emo artists. And I was just like, we just were like loved each other, but we didn't ever say it. And
those are the best.
Oh,
I remember those are the best. And I have
so
all these
sweet.
memories of like nights in the Juilliard hallway, like saying goodnight and being like, is he gonna kiss me tonight? I don't know. Is it gonna
Could it be
happen? And then
now?
he would hand me a mixtape, like,
Oh my God.
or it was a CD at that by that point.
CD.
I was like, I made you this. And then I'd go home and listen and just cry and like, ooh, daydream. And it was the best being young and
It's
in love.
such a good feeling.
so
Okay,
sweet.
Joy, I had a boy that I loved in New York City, and he gave me mixtapes, and oh my God, like I'm like listening to these, and I'm like, I think he's telling me that he loves me. Like, what?
Yes,
this is crazy. And then I found out it was just his yearly mix, and he made the same set
Stop
list
it.
and gave it to all his friends as like,
No.
these are the
Stop it
favorite
right
songs
now.
of this year. And I was horrified.
No.
It was heartbreaking because I really thought
I'm
like
speechless.
he's telling me that he loves me. Not true. These were just like the good songs that came out this year. You know,
Oh,
here you
man.
go. Guys,
I
you need
remember-
to know how loaded
Boys.
mixtapes are. They're
mixtape?
business, man.
Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart. I actually remember having like a does he like me or does he not like me like moment with some friends in high school. And I finally was like, he doesn't like me. He's never made me a mixtape. It's not like that. We're just friends. Like of a deal that if it never happened, somebody wasn't. It wasn't like that. That wasn't the vibe. It was platonic.
But
Meaning
also,
mixtapes
are
are not
kids like that
platonic.
now?
I don't know.
I think they are. I think the younger teenagers and like between 14 and 22, because my brother's 20. And I think in that age range, like they're really into retro stuff. So they do things like that. Now, like to me, I'm like, who has time to make a mixtape? I mean, oh my God, I don't have time
We're
to do
parents
that.
now,
But I
Joy. Joy, we have a mortgage.
That's true.
They're just going to
You
school.
guys-
What'd you do today? I made a mixtape. Go fucking pay your bills, Joy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pay your bills, Joy.
The closest I've come to making a mixtape in years is like making a playlist on Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's what the
You
kids
know?
are doing. I mean,
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah, that's true.
kids.
But like, I can't imagine
What
it being
was-
burned on a CD.
Well,
On a CD.
yeah,
What's a
CD.
CD? What's a CD?
Who owns
I
a
don't know why I said
burner
that.
anymore?
What was on the mixtape that Peyton gave to Lucas though? That CD
Do you
where their
know?
song is that
I feel like they probably put some songs out there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was Tegan and Sarah in the episode. And just so you guys at home know, I was a massive Tegan and Sarah fan. And so I
remember that.
Soph was too.
Same.
And we were just like, put him on the show, put him on the show, put him on the show.
Please,
and
please,
then when
please, please.
Trick came along, I thought for sure we were going to get them.
Right?
It just didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Unfair.
Guys, I'm still looking up this Robin Thicke situation because it's gonna kill me. It was Cherry Blue Skies was the name of the album. What was the name of that stupid song?
What are you trying to figure out?
That Robin Thicke
song
song
she
that was so
loved?
sexy.
Lost Without You.
Oh, see, I had a different one. There was Sugar Mama was
Oh.
really good. Yeah, Cherry Blue Skies was a really good one too. Anyway, I got
Well, a
sidetracked.
lot of you guys don't know is, okay, so this episode was directed by Jason Moore, who is a huge Broadway director, actually, which is, I think, one of the big things that during this episode, especially during that scene, Hillary, when you and I were going for our walk, our very slow walk.
Slowest emergency
Very
walk
slow
ever.
walk for two girls.
A stroll.
Hillary.
And we've left
Yeah.
our like drugged up, injured friend in a car on a lonesome highway. Girls, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
That's girl
Don't do
code.
it.
Number one, don't leave your girlfriend.
No way.
You piggyback
Yeah.
her to town, man.
Yep. So, but Jason directed it, and we all got to talking about Broadway and so that's how sort of Hillary and I think, really bonded in that regard. And Jason had directed Avenue Q at that point,
yeah.
and
Wow.
I got to figure out what else he's directed since then. He's like a ton of crazy.
I just
amazing
remember
stuff.
feeling like, will you take us with you? Like, I wanted to impress him
Exactly.
so bad. And I just so was like, this situation's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes because we'd already been dealing with some like, foreshadowing of what we were going to deal with behind the scenes for the next 6 years. And he was such a safe, lovely, like communicative director.
Oh yeah. I wanted him back so bad. He was so great.
Take us with you. Yeah, he was wonderful.
Yeah. Oh,
put us in your
directed
suitcase,
Pitch Perfect.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect.
Which is
I know. I was like, Jason,
Pitch Perfect film.
please.
Hi. Remember me?
Hello. Did you have fun with us?
I can do that too.
Guys, he never came back to us.
I know. He was like,
Bum
guys,
out.
I'm not taking that double flight to Wilmington. Brooke was so fun.
Yeah. Brooke on
A
webcam.
Yeah. I mean,
shaking your ass.
Oh man. I just love the moments where, and I can see it differently now, like the moments where I felt free to play and be a kid, and our moments in your room, and it's all just silly and so adorable. And then, there's like the forced, like, now I'm supposed to flirt with the grown-up man for the medicine. Right. Like, it's so weird, and I hate those scenes. So I have this very personal, like, half the time I'm anxious and half the time I'm just loving it. And the stuff with all of us is it's just charming and it's funny. And,
did you know anybody back then that had a webcam? Because I for sure didn't. Like, it was like first I'd heard of it,
I didn't know
talk
anybody.
about another casual throw-in of something that's like kind of a big deal for a high school girl to have a webcam in her bedroom.
Like pointed at her bed,
You know what I mean?
Ew, sick, ew. I never knew if it was something that like her dad had set up so that he could make sure she was alive, because her dad's just like gone on a fishing
boat.
vessel.
Yeah, they should have addressed that. Why didn't we get to see that?
I think it plays out all through the first season. I mean, it plays out all the way through the psychedelic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I just never, ever met a kid that did something like that. Mm-hmm. And now you've got little kids with YouTube channels. And it's so common. And it's
super weird.
It's really weird. Yeah. Does your daughter ever ask if she can do that?
No, she's not allowed on YouTube. And she, like, if I'm not there with her, because I just don't, the ads pop up and people are creepy and they put stuff in kid videos that I just, no.
Totally
creepy. But she has seen clips of things where the kids are unwrapping the toys.
Oh my God.
Unboxing videos.
I'm going to, I'll text it to you girls. Maria did a video of like an unboxing video where she has like all these little, but it's not anything real from like an actual, it's just toys from inside of her room.
Right.
Like a little Fabergé egg that I passed off. And I was like, this is a fake Fabergé egg. I was like, I don't want this. It looks like a, mini like fairy palace to her. So it's got that with some plastic little thing. It's really cute. But I was going, and she's talking through the whole thing. Now, if you want to see what's inside this, you're going to have to wait because we're going to open the other ones first. I'm like, what the heck? Where did you learn this stuff?
Kids love it. Gus doesn't realize that oh no, God, no. But Gus watches all like the Minecraft, like the gamers. That's what little boys are into. Mm-hmm. And so
he's on Twitch.
No, God, no. He doesn't realize every video that he shoots on his iPad goes to Jeff's phone. And so at night, we lay in bed and we watch him be like, all right, guys, today we're talking about Dan TDM and Minecraft. And so they're practicing these host skills, which will benefit them in the future, just like public speaking and being able to communicate with people. But back in 2003, when we did this, the idea of a child being on the internet, like just offering up her bedroom for strangers was insane.
Yeah. I still think it's insane.
Well, now they're all doing those sexy TikTok dances. All the kids.
Oh, God. That stresses me out. I guess it's interesting to think about it in those terms because when Brooke runs in and, it was
Brooke
such
the
a
original
casual
TikTok girl?
Doing that dance on the webcam? Oh my God. Also, Brooke invented Uber, but it's fine.
Give me my
that comes later this season. I'm like, give me my money. I came up with this idea. But I think something's really interesting because there is this like very sweet, innocent, youthful moment. And what I love too is there's been so much angst and so much drama. And when I come into your room, and it's just like, it's playful. Yeah. There's an understanding of what was going on. And I love how they unpack it as friends with humor.
Yeah.
But now seeing it running over and doing the cheer. I don't know what this is. Yep. This is my cheer. Running over and doing the cheer and then like flashing ass at the webcam and going, well, that's what they're for. I'm like, wait, were we trying to poke fun at it? Or what were we doing? What was the writer's motivation in that moment?
There was a lot of Brooke ass in this episode, by the
way.
There was. And we need to talk about how the uniforms changed in this episode. We had
as soon as they came on screen, it was like, wait a minute, what happened to the other half of the uniforms?
You guys, when Hillary and I walked out at the away game, all three of us were like, wait, what are those? Like, our uniforms were shrunk by half. The tops are like bras. Where did the rest of the tops go?
Guys, I'm going to blame the OC again. They were like, how do we sexy this show up about basketball? I know. We're going to cut up those fucking uniforms.
That's right. They're just so not cute.
I don't know. I have a real long torso. And so these suits specifically were tough on me because you could see everyone else's belly buttons, but not mine because I guess I have a low button, guys. And I was always self-conscious in those stupid things. Yeah, give us a full shirt.
Aw.
Yeah. And remember the hair fight I had about how cheerleaders don't wear their hair down because if you stunt, you could get injured. Yeah. I lost the fight by this episode. I lost the fight.
Yeah, we weren't getting anywhere with
sexy
it.
Sexy cheer.
Which was irritating.
My favorite moment of the basketball game was Brooke with the putting all the pieces together.
It's an iconic line.
Rectangle. I love that part of the scene so much because it was a fun moment. I remember speaking to Jason and him saying, you're going to do a lot of comic relief. Like we're letting tension out in this episode. And I felt that because the last one was so heavy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think I really felt permission to do more than what was on the page, more than like be the bad girl. And it was so fun. And that moment of standing there, I think that Nathan likes Tutor Girl and Tutor Girl likes Lucas. And I know. And it was just so, I love Rectangle +1, whatever that is. God, it's good.
But you got it in like
it's really
2
funny.
takes.
It's really funny.
You also like nailed it. Because Joy and I have talked, we're like, I feel like that scene took a really long time to shoot. Other scenes, I remember that being just like wizardry. You nailed it because you knew how to hit all those beats so that the audience got up to speed on what's what. You had to provide crazy exposition there, and you did it in such a funny way that it's become a line that people come up to us at conventions and say, I
love it.
How long did that stunt take, the guys falling on you?
I don't remember, but God, I got elbowed a couple of times. And if you pay attention, not that I really want everyone inspecting my ass because it was a battle I lost and I wound up with, my ass up in the camera in the back seat later in the episode, but I have huge bruises like down my whole right ass cheek and thigh because those big ass boys fell on me and then they were fighting and I remember getting elbowed like in the gluteus. And you can see these huge bruises on my butt later in the episode.
It was when everyone was still trying to prove that we were really method actors. And it was like, no, cool. We're just going to fight for real. It'll be great.
Yeah, just go at it. Really, make it look real. And I'm underneath the two of them being like, ow, please stop.
Fine. You don't have to prove anything. It's fine.
No, you know what else makes me laugh? Because I realized looking at it that it's ADR. Because when you come and like save me and give me the hug, Hill, I remember and I can see it going, Peyton. And they made me ADR, pain over pain.
Is that what it was?
Oh, that's funny. You can see it. It's totally looped. And it's so silly. Pain.
I mean, it's a sad line. Like, for real, though, there was so much casual stuff in this episode. The pill thing. Let's talk about the pill thing.
Oh, man.
When we were watching it
That's
back.
not okay.
It was before anybody was talking about an opioid epidemic. And it's weird. I mean, I remember doctors just being like, do you want a prescription? Like it was handed out like freaking candy back then.
Yep.
So the idea that these like kids were just kind of being playful about it now is such a horror show. Ew, gross.
Yeah, it doesn't age well. And the idea that a kid might be like, oh, this might be a cool way for me to get a little, fucked up tonight.
Yeah, let's party.
Let's party. And I'm like, or don't that. Oh God, it feels
so
cringy.
Scary to me. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people have tried that. It always scared me, the idea of just going into a medicine cabinet and just like taking pills. I don't know what they are, what they're for, what it would do to me.
Yeah.
I was too scared to do
and the guy who played the trainer is a buddy from the improv scene in Wilmington.
Yeah.
So when we
that's cool.
When we descended on
Level
the improv
5.
world, Cullen, who plays Junk, was a part of like this improv comedy scene. And he would invite us to Level 5 to come see improv comedy night. And Sam was an actor that was like a big part of the theater scene.
Sam Robinson.
And he felt like such a creeper. Like, he was so excited to be on the show, but he's doing it as like this kind of predatory, creepy college guy passing out pills to little girls. Your legacy is better than that, Sam. You deserve more.
We love you, Sam. Poor guy. They always threw so many good guys in the rough positions.
Well, that's it. If you're a local actor and they're like, you're cast, kid. And then you've got to play a pervert or like somebody doing like college date rape or passing out drugs to kids. It's like, womp, womp.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I thought it was a good moment for Brooke. I liked, I know it's like anytime we do something that's not setting a great example, it's always cringy, but I liked for Brooke seeing all the layers. And, there was the one time we just get to see a little bit of her real trouble in spite of all the fun and all the, upness, heightened. Oh, God. I mean, did I not go to school? Where's my vocabulary?
Upness.
You know what I mean?
No, girl, upness is a word.
I like upness.
Upness.
Oh,
Her upness was not on display in that scene. She was feeling...
It was. I liked seeing her flaw because it gave you more to look forward to with her for later, that it wasn't just, she's not just a fun, bubbly girl. She's got some real shit going on, and it made me want to see more of her.
Oh, I love that. I think I had to find a little bit of that line for her there, thinking, okay, well, what is she trying to escape? What is she trying to be distracted from? And figuring out, I think for each of us, those moments where we could add something for these girls, something that wasn't on the page, find whether it was humor or seriousness or vulnerability. I mean, even the two of you in that very slow walk, you're mosey to
the
town.
mosey.
I love it because looking back, I see you guys. I see Peyton and Haley, sure. But I see the two of you and the way you giggle and the way that you each find things funny and
making fun of Chad in that scene felt so scandalous. Like, I remember being like, my God. Yeah, like, because everyone had teased Chad in real life about his, like, blue steel, about, like, the brood and pout and stuff.
Yeah,
and
made the script.
They wrote it in, and Joy and I got to, like, poke fun at it. I felt like we were getting away with murder. It was just like, oh, my God, is he going to be mad
at us?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute.
We enjoyed that.
But I feel like watching the scene, I was like, oh, I want to know what was on the page and what you guys like ad-libbed and threw in. And because I knew watching it, obviously not being there because I was pretending to be passed out in the car. But watching it, I was like, oh, they made it, they sparkled it up, and I want to see a side by side.